Brought to you by Powermouth Productions.
Powermouth. Hello. This is Speaking More Life, Season 3, Episode 22 of Powermouth Speaking More Life. And you are listening to your host, Glenna Oyajo. Okay, I'm going to be jumping straight in, but not before I say hello to each and every one of you. I hope you're doing extremely well. I hope that you are feeling blessed. But I do want to jump into this subject, okay? Because this subject right now for me, I think it's very important. I think it's important for a lot of people, specifically women. But men, do not jump off, please. Stay on this podcast and listen, okay? Right, okay, so what is the title? The title is about perimenopause. Okay, perimenopause. I did not say peri sauce, okay? I said perimenopause, all right? We're not talking about all things food. We're talking all things female, okay? Now, listen, the last episode I did was on postnatal depression. Here comes a different type of depression. That one's to do with fertility and being fertile. This one is like everything is just coming to an end, coming to a close. The fertility game is done in. It's going. Okay, so I'll just let you know the few symptoms, and I'm saying a few because what I'm going to read off right now is not all of the symptoms of perimenopause, but it still is a lot. Okay, right, so one might suffer from anxiety, mood swings, brain fog, hot flushes, the irregular periods, muscle aches and joint pains, and sensitive teeth, dryness in that area down there, change body shape, weight gains, palpitations. Did I say migraine and headaches? Yeah, all of that. And that's only a few of it, that's only a few of the symptoms. So I just needed to speak about this perimenopause, okay? Because, until you kind of get to that stage, all right? Until you get to that stage. And I believe that females, ladies, when you kind of hit the 40 range, the 40 age range, mid 40 range, like myself, whatever, you start to notice things are a little bit different. You know what I mean? And it can come as a rude shock to you because not very long ago you may have been like popping out babies, and then the next thing you know, like everything else is popping off on your body. Like, what's going on? And you may not have that much guidance, or nobody really told you what it was like or what you're going to experience, because each woman is different. But these symptoms here, I can pick a good few of them which I now recognize to be the perimenopause. And you just realize, wow, I am really not getting any younger. It doesn't matter how young I feel. I am getting older, but I feel like it's important to address and know what is going on with our bodies, because then you will think that you're going crazy. You would think that you're going cray. I mean, I would just think, like, what is this? Like, why can I not remember what I stepped out of the room to do or what I stepped into the room to do? What is going on? Okay. And then why am I like overheating? Okay. Because it's not hot and I'm overheating. I'm getting these hot flushes. Okay. And now I think back to it, they're just increasing. The hot flushes are increasing and I'm hot. And then you start to get like a sweat mustache. Like, what's going on? Okay. And then one of the things that really caught me off guard was this feeling of anxiety. I never really suffered from anxiety, but all of a sudden I'm getting anxious. That was it for me. No, 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 N to the O to anxiety. I'm sorry. Yeah. And there's just other stuff as well, palpitations and the headaches. The headaches, every time you have a headache. So all of these things that's been experienced, which some women may not even look at and think, wow, I'm going through the perimenopause, can make somebody feel like they are actually going crazy or something really is wrong. Because I've been sat in the doctor's office like, listen, test me now. Okay, what's going on? And they do all the tests just to come back and say it's perfectly fine. I mean, I remember the doctor saying to me, I know you're probably upset that nothing came back abnormal or whatever. and the truth was, I kind of wanted to hear him say, well, this is what's going on or whatever. I mean, if it's a lack of iron, tell me and I'll deal with the problem. But you're telling me that I am perfect when I'm not feeling that way because I want to snap at everyone. Like I can feel that kind of steam coming out my nose, okay, on top of the sweat mustache as well, and the headache, yeah, and then I just like the dry skin, and then let's not forget the changes in your hair, okay, and then yeah, you just feel like this dried prune, and it ain't nice, and so you have to go out, you have to buy more moisturizer for your skin because you're realizing that the soft skin you had is now starting to form into crocodile skin. You realize that the thick bountiful hair that you had is now decreasing, okay. And and not only that, but you may have the breakout in your skin, so these odd like spots and stuff is coming up, and I'm so far from teenager. Why are you revisiting me in this age? So all of these stuff here, I'm not happy about. But in all seriousness, I mean, I can have a laugh about this and whatever, but in all seriousness, I just feel like there needs to be more that is said and that is done about perimenopause, you know. Don't get me wrong, I have been hearing a bit more about it now, thank God. Especially as I can relate to some of these stuff that I'm hearing, and but I just feel like there needs to be more done. Some women aren't even taken seriously when they approach their, medical doctors in regards to the symptoms that they're feeling. And, these symptoms are very real and they can have a big impact in one's life. So not only does it affect the women, obviously she's getting the physical stuff and whatever, but, when it comes to her emotions and just her mind or whatever, that can affect family life as well. It can affect relationships as well. And I'm sure, but don't hold me on this one, but I heard that most divorce takes place during this time when a woman is in her menopausal phase of life. Right, so that's serious right there. That's serious because that shows a lack of support from maybe the medical field or from the family, from the husband, and so, divorce is to the extreme. It really is. But some women just feel like, you know what, I'm through with this, I'm done with this, I'm not putting up with certain stuff, whatever. And, they will take that route of divorce, especially going through what they're going through as well, which needs support. And if they're not getting any support, then they just go and will go and do their own thing. It's serious. Okay, so if that being all true and everything, there needs to be more spoken on this subject of perimenopause and menopause. For me, I was like, when I got these symptoms, it's like, you know what, the Holy Spirit told me that this is what I was going through. And he brought people around me. Like, I'd be in like the nail shop, like getting my nails, getting a manicure, and I would hear like two women speaking about it, like just quite openly, whatever. And then, we'd get into a conversation and whatever. And it's like, yeah, this is really confirming, because I am just wondering what is going on with my body. What is going on? I feel like kind of, can I say the word off key? I feel off key. Like, I don't feel like, I don't feel like how I used to. I feel like different. And why am I snapping, And you can tell that many people within the same similar age range is going through this. I mean, I went to a friend's birthday celebration, and all the females there, which I noticed, they all had fans, these electric fans in their in their hands, fanning themselves, or they just like got like a flyer or piece of paper and was like just like fanning themselves like harshly to just get themselves cool down. And I was one of them as well. I had to grab like a piece of paper and just like fan them, because the heat was different. It isn't just the heat of just like body heat. It's now you've got this internal heat that's trying to rise up and trying to melt your makeup and give you sweat moustache, and it's just not on. So I found that quite funny after, when I reflected back on that. But yeah, so much more different now. Everybody's still kind of looking the same, praise be to God. Everybody's like, looking good, looking the same. It's still looking youthful. Only a few giveaways that we're reaching older, getting older. But that was the biggest giveaway of the night, that there was many in the room that's going through perimenopause. Well, that's what I believe anyway. Or even menopause. So what can one do? What can one do to help during this time? Well, I think that the biggest thing is to realize that, every woman has to go through perimenopause, menopause. When I talk about perimenopause, I'm including menopause as well, because that's where you're going to get to, that's the journey. The perimenopause is a journey on the way to the menopause, and which people do embrace, when they get to that menopause stage, because then you don't have to do all that monthly stuff. But during this journey of perimenopause, and your body is going through so much things, your hormones, whatever, your body is changing, whatever, it is time to just embrace what is taking place. Okay, and I don't mean to rap, but yeah, it is how it is. We have to embrace what is taking place, because if you don't, you will go crazy. Seriously, you will. And so many people don't have an understanding of what's taking place with their body, or don't kind of look into what's happening with their body. They find it extremely difficult. And perimenopause, going through this stage, can be quite difficult in itself as well. So I just believe that knowledge is power. Having some knowledge about what is taking place is good, and that you won't be so hard on yourself. So now, even with myself, like where I would find myself snapping like at the start, like the temper was short. Like now I'm able to maneuver through that now, because I know what this is. Okay, I know what this is, right? The dragon ain't gonna come out like that, because I know that it's just something that I'm going through. Do you know what I mean? And I also know that, Glenna, take extra care of yourself. So now I'm just up increasing, my fitness. Do you know what I mean? I'm increasing the fitness, doing more in the gym, dance classes and stuff and whatever, dance exercise, and just like making sure that, I build up the muscle, you know what I mean? Because like all of that affects bones and stuff and whatever. It's deep. It's deep. That's why I said there needs to be more information out there that goes deeper. And I know there are a few doctors out there that's got some books out there as well. Can't remember the name, but I'm reading one of them. It's terrible, but terrible that I can't remember the name. The book's great, really is. Maybe I'll get the link and post it. But yeah, we just need to know more about what is taking place as well, and be able to speak about it with those who are close with us, or close to us, like, the people we live with. Example, husband, children as well, who may get the brunt of it if we don't know what's kind of going on with our bodies, and if we don't explain to them what's going on as well. So I feel like that's really important. So, that you get the support as well, because support, this is what it's all about. Getting support during this time is really important. So, like I said, it's about paying more attention to ourselves. These are the things that we can do. So in our fitness and the things that we're consuming as well. And we've all heard this before, like, yeah, we know this, but I really believe that we have to start applying these things as well, because I knew this for years as well. I'm not like I'm a bad eater or anything, or, that I was really unfit, but I'm really, really paying attention to myself now, because I'm like, as I get older, I want to be able to run around and kind of roll on the ground and play around with my grandchildren, still be, like a young grandma, just be able to run around to that. Don't have any grandchildren yet, but when they do come, I want to be able to race them and beat them when I race them in the garden, when we have a race. I want to beat my grandchild, It doesn't matter if they're 2 years old. I want to come first in the race. You know what I mean? So this is important to me. It really is. And so I've made a promise to myself that I am going to treat myself well and just do the best that I can do, so that I can have more life, more life, because I'm speaking more life in regards to myself. I'm speaking more life over myself. I mean, when I think about like some of the muscle aches and the joint pains and like the cold shoulder, do you know what I mean? And like when I'm hearing this health professional speaking about this, I'm like, whoa, this is what I'm experiencing. Like, I'm telling you, when you know what's going on with you, it's freedom. It really is freedom, and you are able to do what you can, take the supplements that you need to take, do the exercise that you need to take, and just be more patient with yourself and gentle with yourself as well, as you are transitioning into this different phase of life. Not only that, but when I like researched and just looked up more, and I was even looking at some of the symptoms that I get, and listening to other women as well, and then on reflection, I was thinking about some people that I know that kind of at around about this age, they weren't doing so well in life, like in terms of like their emotional state and their mental well-being and everything. And it's like a light bulb just turned on. I was like, I wonder if they were, or they're experiencing what they're experiencing because of like the journey to menopause. You know what I mean? And like lots of people, they want to just pass off like a person's behavior emotional behaviors like they're just crazy or something or whatever. But you know, this journey to menopause, it is quite a deep one as well. And so, you know, a lot of other things can come about, a lot of other issues can come about in a person's health and in their mental health as well. It's a lot. It's so much that this subject, this topic has to be opened up more, I believe, in homes and in workplaces, in place of worship. It needs to be opened up more in schools so they get to know as well, because I believe that yes, it affects women, but it affects basically everyone around. Now, listening to, you know, a conversation in regards to perimenopause, I heard basically that there was like, when it comes to funding for perimenopause, menopausal women going through this, it's like non-existent. When it comes to, you know, giving birth and everything, yeah, the money's poured into that, and thank God, you know, because thank the Lord, you know, I would, that's a great thing that there is money that is poured into the antenatal care and everything and whatever, because it's needed, you know, it's needed. But you know what, please, we cannot be forgotten about here. As ladies that are trying to grow gracefully, you know, we can't be forgotten about as well. You know, we do count as well, we really do count as well. And so there needs to be more funding put into places where it gives women who are going through this transition or on this journey to menopause more help, more resources, more support. Full stop. Now there's some women and they breeze through menopause like nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, I even had to like go to my own mother and say, "Hello, you didn't really say anything like in regards to like perimenopause or menopause, whatever." And she's like, "Oh, it's fine. I just got through it perfectly well." Oh, I'm thinking, well, that's good for you, mum. But, you know, I'm kind of feeling it at this moment. I am like extremely tired. And these are the things that I had to kind of deal with as well, the tiredness. Like, why do I always want to sleep? I can't get enough sleep. Then when it's my bedtime, my eyes are wide open. Now my eyes are big enough already, and I'm just staring at the other end of the room, you know, plus having hot flushes and sometimes sweating through my top, my clothes. It's not on. It's not on. But now that I have a greater understanding, I feel like I know how to deal with it better, you know, and how to hydrate myself better. And also, like I said, the inclusion of exercise and just a more healthier way of living as well, just to help me to go through. I mean, it's not the worst, but you know, I know my body, and I know that most of us, we know our body, we're in tune with our body. So when something little feels off, then it's just off, and we kind of just need to kind of get it back to, you know, to something that we can kind of just like live with and deal with. Okay, so a book that I said that I was reading uh on Audible, well, listening to on Audible, still got a few hours to go of reading it or listening to it, shall I say. But seems to be quite good. And I did see an interview that she had, which influenced me to go and order her book, and it's called The New Menopause by Mary Claire Haver. And it's a book about navigating your path through hormonal change with purpose, power, and facts. So, it's a good read. I love the interview that I saw her having, um, because in that interview that I watched, I was able to identify with the symptoms that she was talking about. And so for me, that was like a great relief. I could breathe, like, yes, okay, that's what it is. Especially about the shoulder, the I think she calls it cold shoulder. I'm not sure. Don't hold me on that one. But get the book and read it. I've still got to go through the rest of it. Still got a couple of few hours actually to read in that book. But I'm enjoying it so far, and I loved what I saw in the interview that she had. Okay, I believe that perimenopause or menopause is quite a taboo subject as well. Just like I was speaking on my last episode 21, where I was talking about the postnatal depression. Why is like everything that relates to us women like a hush hush kind of like taboo subject or something that we should be ashamed of? I mean, come on. God know those days, right? There's nothing shameful about postnatal depression, and there's nothing shameful about going through our journey to menopause. It is life. It is life, right? It really is. And so, yeah, if that is the case when it comes to menopause, for goodness sake, when we see older women on the road, and I mean really older women on the road, surely we don't think that they are still having the same kind of body functioning as somebody that's younger than them in their 20s. Come on. All right, there's changes that happen, and there's changes that happen in the male bodily functions as well. Right? Isn't there? I'm sure there is. So, these things that affect health to sometimes really great extent needs to be dealt with. It needs to be talked about, not to be shoved under the carpet. And you know what? As older women, as anybody, we matter. Whatever age you are, whatever gender you are, male, female, we matter. Our health matters. Our health matters, young or old. Health matters. And so if funding is there for a particular something, then it needs to be there for another thing. You know what I mean? Let's be equal in this. Okay, well, I hope that this wasn't too much of a rant. I'm not ranting about perimenopause, because I know that it's something that we have to go through, and everyone's going to have their own little story about their symptoms that they have and what they go through. And sometimes we just got to learn to laugh at it as well, just laugh about it, because if you don't, then you may get down and depressed about it, which is something that can happen because there is such thing as menopausal depression as well, perimenopausal depression, and we don't want to go down there. That's not what we want to do. So to kind of take things on board and see how we can maneuver through it, as Mary Claire Haver says, maneuver through the hormonal changes with purpose, power, and facts is a great thing to do, because it helps to relieve that tension off of us. And it's just something that we have to go through in life. And with the support, I believe that all will be well. All will be well. So, to anybody who is experiencing this, interested in it, like I said, I mentioned the book before, The New Menopause by Mary Claire Haver. And I'm sure there's other different resources. That's just the one that I'm reading at the moment or listening to on Audible at the moment. And there are other, there's websites as well that you can click the link to and get information on that as well. I will attach a couple links in regards to perimenopause and menopause as well. So, to the lovely women out there that's going through this change, let us just embrace it, take care of ourselves, you know, pour into ourselves. As we pour out to others, we need to pour into ourselves as well to remain strong, and just take some time for yourself as well to build yourself up, you know. Pray as well, pray over this as well, you know, pray over your symptoms as well, but be practical about it too. Okay, be practical, be prayerful and practical about whatever you're going through, whatever changes your body's going through. You know, when I say about being prayerful, pray about the right things that you should include in your lifestyle, or the things that you need to get rid of in your lifestyle to make it a bit more, you know, livable for you during this time. But I'm telling you, things can get restored back. So, you know, the skin might be looking a bit ew at the moment, but you know what? After time, you'll get that back. The hair might try to run away, but I'm telling you, you can get that back. You know what I mean? The weight might try to pile on, but that can go at some time, whatever. You know, what I'm trying to say is that whatever's taking place, it doesn't have to be permanent. If we pour into ourselves, if we looking after ourselves and just taking the right measures, whatever, to make sure that we are well, then we will see wellness. Okay, so don't be too alarmed or put off. You are amazing, our bodies are amazing, and we are thankful for what our bodies can do and have done. All right, so to the next time, please take care of yourself. And all who's listening, just spare a thought for those who may be going through this. Maybe you can do some form of research as well. And, you know, if you do recognize any symptoms, that will help you to support your loved one even more so. Okay, so I'm going to pause here. No pun intended. Please do remain blessed and join me for the next episode of Power Mouth Speaking More Life. This is your host, Glenna Oyajo. Proverbs 18:21 talks about the power of the tongue. You can choose which way to go.